Hello everyone, my name is Vinny. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first ever video. I'm so excited for it. Today I have 5 tips for you to better yourself in 2021. We all know what kind of a year we had in 2020. It wasn't good for anyone, and it's so hard to bring yourself back out of that. I know that, I've been there myself, and in fact, the hardest year of my life was not 2020, it was actually a couple of years ago when I was really suffering with some mental health problems. Now, I'm much better. I actually last year built myself a business and it was doing really well until COVID took it off me. And then again, there's many other things that 2020 took off me, as much as most of you have probably suffered. So I'm a bit of an odd guy. I like to do things a bit differently. And so I'm actually starting with a bonus tip right at the beginning. It's kind of like a prerequisite, if you want to call it that. But basically, the only way to really get started on the tips that I'm going to give you today is to really be bothered. You have to go home, you have to really think about how difficult your current life situation is. If you are never going to come away that bothered about it, if you're going to keep going to work and just keep living the same mundane thing and then be okay with it when you get home, you're never going to start doing the tips that I give you today. They are not easy tips. They are the tips that I followed when I built everything up from scratch. So now you've gone home and you've got really bothered, you're genuinely thinking, I cannot live the life that I live anymore. I have to do something to make it better. That is when everything is going to change for you. And we start with tip number 1. It's a bit of a boring one, tip number 1, I'm afraid. Please don't click away. It is to hydrate yourself better. Now, I'm not talking about just go and drink some water. It's no good for you to just pick up like the occasional glass in between meals. That's not how this works. What I do is I have a 2.2 litre bottle which I use every single day. I have nothing to gain from you going out and buying one of these. I just want to be completely honest about that. I have one and I'm not going to share it with you because I don't want you to go out and get the one that I have thinking it's somehow some magic kind of bottle. Any big bottle and then monitor how much you have. You should really have between 2 and 3 litres every day, depending on what food you choose and depending on how much exercise you do. Really important tip for it is just to actually monitor how much you are having. There are apps that are available online. Again, I have no take in any of these. This YouTube channel is brand new. I don't get anything from you going out and buying one of these. But some of them are also free. I used to use a free one. I honestly can't remember the name of it, but they are available. Just bring up your iOS app store or your Android, whichever it is that you choose. Tip number 2 goes hand in hand with that. You need to watch your diet more closely. Now, I'm not saying to cut out foods that you don't want to lose. So let's say you love a cheeky McDonald's on a Friday. That's all good. Do that. Carry on doing that. That's absolutely fine. But compensate in the rest of your day. And don't do it all the time. You know, that you always hear of this stuff about in moderation. Fine. Do it in moderation. Everyone says that for a good reason. I used to have McDonald's maybe twice a week at one stage. And I got into terrible shape and it took me so long to get back. I've now let myself go again and I have to start again. Now, it doesn't help that I live across the road from a McDonald's, just putting that out there. What you need to do is just actually start counting it. Again, I had an app for that. I used to see how many calories that I was taking in and it was so easy because I just had a barcode that I scanned. I have nothing, like I said for the last tip, I don't get anything from you going out and buying one of these. Trust me, it really works, and it's almost like getting the limitless pill from that movie, you know? Now, tip 3 is super controversial and was honestly one of the hardest things I've ever done in my whole life. You really have to cut the ties with friends or choices that you have made previously that you have decided that you're going to do and you're just not going to follow through on. Now, for me, that actually ended up in me losing some very close friends. I had some people who were very tight with me when I was growing up, when I was at school, and I straight up stopped talking to them because they were just on a negative spiral. And I don't believe that they had my best interests at heart anymore. They wanted me to hang around because they needed that help, they needed that emotional support, but they weren't willing to take that help and that emotional support. They also wanted someone like me, because I'm quite outgoing, I love talking to people, to try and bring new people into their life for them. Their motives started to become very selfish. It really is very difficult to do, especially if those people have helped you with something in your life that was really difficult to get through, or they've just been there when, for example, if you were attacked, if you were mugged in the street and they didn't leave your side and they took the beating with you. That is really a rough thing to try and compensate for, especially when these people have been such a big part of your life for so long, in some cases. But you really have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture, and you have to start taking care of yourself, because no one else is going to do that for you. As for tasks and things like that that you maybe aren't going to get to and stuff like that, you've got to be really honest with yourself. The realistic point of it is, if you don't have enough time to monitor your relationships and to monitor your goals, you're not going to be taking on new goals. And if you have done that endlessly and just mounted them up, as I did, you end up just with this endless list of things that you've said that you're going to do, and you just don't have enough time to make any of them happen. You know, I did this so much. I have such a erratic brain, and I love to go and try new things all the time. And so I ended up, I was going to learn this language, and I was going to write this book, and I was going to start doing martial arts, and I was going to the gym, and I was monitoring that. And it's way too much, and you have to be completely honest with yourself. You have to say, maybe I'll come back to them later. I'm going to focus on this one today. If you don't have time to commit at least a minute a day to this task or this goal, you don't have time for it. You need to just let it move on and relax your brain a bit, and just come back down, simmer back down, and start from the beginning. You know, if you keep saying to yourself, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and you have all these goals that are unfinished at the end of every year, no wonder you're going to start beating yourself up. It's really easy to do once you get used to it, but the first time is just so complicated, and it's really difficult to decide which one is the one that you want to carry forward. Just be honest with yourself. Tip 4 comes a lot under what I just said. So if you want to learn something new, which I really genuinely think you should. I personally am learning to drive. I still can't drive yet. I know I'm a bit old to not be driving, but I'm gonna learn this year, and that is the number one thing. I'm not gonna do anything else until I've done that. I have other goals too, but they're more long term. This one is happening this year, and I guarantee you it will happen. This is what you need to do. If you want to learn a language, great. Commit at least 1 minute a day. It doesn't have to be that you learn something just by only doing that. You can do 1 minute a day of several things if you want. If you really think that's going to help you, realistically, if you start learning a language, or if you start learning guitar, or if you start learning how to play football, anything like that, you know, that's just going to take you ages, but you will still make progress just by doing 1 minute a day. As long as you commit that and you do it every single day, you'll be fine, and you will learn it eventually. What I would suggest, if you do only have a minute spare a day, if you work 7 days a week, as I have done in the past, doing just a minute a day of something has to be a bit smaller. You know, you can learn a language that way, but it will take you several years, just as long as you have that, you know, acceptance in you. But let's say if you are a football player, maybe commit yourself 1 minute a day to learning a specific technique if you haven't got any other time. So once you just actually start doing a minute, you start finding that you have more time to do it, and the better that you get at each individual thing, the quicker it starts coming. Tip 5, final boring one, really hard. How annoying. But exercise. Yeah, exercise. No, really exercise, like for real. Like, I don't mean that you have to go to the gym, and I don't mean that you have to start doing the hardest things in the world, but just it doesn't even have to be every day. For me at the moment, I just do weekends, because I work a lot during the week. I have time off at the weekends. So I'm starting to get back into the old routines that I used to do. I have purchased some courses and things like that to do that I can do at home because of the current situation, but you don't have to do that. There's so much stuff that's free on YouTube. Even you can go off and just find anything that you want to find, and you can start working on different parts of your body. Like, just do something. It doesn't have to be that you go and do a 30-minute thing. Doesn't mean that you have to go on a 4-mile run. You can do something in your living room for 6 minutes and you'll be a little bit better than you were yesterday. And if you do that as often as you can, doesn't have to be every day, like I said, just start small. Just actually start. That is the most important thing. So now you're probably thinking, like, who's this guy? And why is he giving me advice? Or why does he know? Like, I just want to, share with you the reason why this ever came about, the reason why I really want it to happen, and I'm so committed to helping everyone else. Like I say, this is a brand new channel. I have nothing to gain. All of this is the most genuine stuff that I can possibly share, and to prove it, I am also going to be doing the 5 tips that I just gave you every single day. And I will show you at the end of this year, I will be in such a better position than I am now, and I will have done the goals that I've needed to get. I will have learned how to drive. I will be continuing to upload on YouTube. I will be maybe even learning a language by the end. I don't know. I haven't achieved any of the goals yet. I've still got a few that I have to pick up. So once I've done them, I will start on some new things. And my body's going to improve. I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to watch my diet. And you guys will get to see for yourself that I am actually actioning what I've asked you to do. And you guys are also going to benefit with me. The only thing that I have to gain, I suppose, is really like a YouTube following, and realistically I'm not very good at marketing. There's a very, very unlikely chance that's ever going to happen. If you have found something of any value in this to help me achieve my goals, you can click the like button down low, and you can subscribe to my channel so you can see that my development is real and the things that I'm telling you is absolutely true. You can also leave a comment if there's something else that you want me to share my experiences on, or my knowledge with you from my particular life point of view, because I've been everywhere, believe me, and I've got so much more that is due to come. This particular video is going to have like a mini series with it. I'm going to go deeper into all the tips because I know that everyone probably has some questions about what I've said. I'm also aware that because this is my first YouTube video, it's probably not that good, and the editing, I really don't know. I'm just trying for the first time, so I know that the sort of like the camera persona is not there yet, and I mean, by the end of the year, hopefully it will be, because I'm going to continue doing this. So yeah, I really hope that you do subscribe. I really hope that I see some more people around. I'd really like it if you liked the video, because that helps it to get out there to more people. I genuinely want to help as many people as possible because I know that what I'm telling you works. And yeah, I guess that's it, guys. So thanks very much, and hopefully I'll see you back here soon.